Let me start by sharing that I have a long, deep appreciation for what you in the rural lending community do, from my time working in agriculture on Capitol Hill, as well as my time in private law practice and in public service in my home state of Indiana. I think about during the time that I was in state government, it was really during the boom of the ethanol sector for the Midwest, and I think about the investments that the lending community helped to make in the biofuels industry. In addition to biofuels, we think about important community infrastructure, whether it's a new health clinic or an expansion of a local community college. You're simply a key partner in facilitating prosperity in rural communities. As community banks, I think about how the lending sector really doesn't just invest in transactions in these places, but instead you're investing your resources in transformation of these communities, and I respect you for that. I share your commitment to the quality of life and economic opportunity in these places, and I truly value the partnership that we have built with you over many years and many projects to benefit rural America. At USDA Rural Development, there's a long-standing motto that we are committed to the future of rural communities with the resources that we have, whether it's in utilities, telecommunications, housing, community facilities, business development, and we stand ready to work with you and to make a difference in the community in which you work. And as we look out on the horizon together, there are very real opportunities and very real challenges for rural America to address. And the opportunities, we think about the plentiful natural resources in these places. We think about the entrepreneurial spirit that is in so many communities. On the challenge side, we think about things like workforce development and the opioid epidemic that is currently ravaging so many of these places. Bill did a great job of highlighting some of the more challenging statistics when we think about rural America right now. 85% of the poorest counties in the country are in rural places. And I think about some of these communities, and while many of the rural places in our country have some of the most historic and charming community settings, when we peel back and think about the need for robust modern infrastructure as a way of connecting the people that live there to the modern world, many of these towns simply lack those assets. The young people that live there often leave when it's time to begin their career, not because they want to, but because there are not opportunities for them to stay in the place in which they grew up and to make a quality of living. And lastly, with these challenges, the rural communities remain vulnerable to sudden downturns, whether it's hurricanes, the disasters, the likes of the hurricanes that we've seen this year, or something not weather related, but instead in the economy, like a sudden plant closing. So to maximize the impact of our resources at USDA Rural Development, particularly in the challenging budget times in which we are in, Secretary Perdue has really focused our efforts at RD on one simple goal, and that is to facilitate rural prosperity and economic development.